Hi everybody, it's time to shave. It's Friday. It's just kind of a hodgepodge shave today. I'm going to use again my signature safety razor here from the good folks at Wet Shaving Club. On sale now, pre-order now. And I'm going to lather up with probably my favorite. If I had to choose one, I just love this. I love it for the way it looks and the way it feels and the way it lathers. The West Coast shaving brush, the Jolly Rancher. Gonna lather up some peppermint shaving cream, Taylor of Old Bond Street. Very good stuff. And then, oh, I forgot. I'm not gonna use this. I gotta put this away because I have one last thing to use from the Ben box. Thanks again, Ben. The Proraso Balsamo Dopo Barba Rinfrescante. Yeah, so aftershave, some more Proraso. This is the last thing from the big box of stuff. And I've got a couple of shout outs and a thank you to Corey for sending me a lovely letter and a lovely pen. So let's start to shave. I took a shower, did my hair. I need a haircut. When it starts getting this tall, I start to feel kind of dumb. I feel like I look like an out of shape, bad Elvis impersonator, with my hair like this. So I need to get a haircut. All right, let's lather up with the Taylor of Old Bond Street. Oh, peppermint. You know how some certain scents just resonate with you every time you smell them? Wood smoke is one from like a campfire or like a cook stove. Peppermint is one. Oh, just love it. Love it. Margaritas, the lime, like citrus, anything a little citrus. Oh, a magnolia blossom on a magnolia tree. Have you ever smelled a magnolia blossom when it's in full bloom? Oh my gosh, it's so gorgeous. It smells like citrus, like the freshest citrus thing you ever smelled. I'm just going to, I'm talking about smells here today, folks. This is just your average shave. This is what I would be thinking about. What I'm doing now is I'm thinking out loud with all of you listening. So I hope hope you'll indulge me for a few minutes at least. All right, let's lather up. Oh, Taylor of Old Bond Street. And this super, super soft and not very expensive shaving brush. I think it's not very expensive. I always have the link down below to it. So if you ever want to get it, sometimes they're sold out. And I just love it. Love it. Love it. All right. I feel like I've slopped, I've slopped slope everywhere, but it's par for the course. All right. We've got the Sinatra Lennon signature razor and made here in America. Some people think they know which, got to clean the runways. Oh, I've never done that before. I cleaned the runways, Geo Fat Boy, if you're watching. That's your thing. Normally I don't slop into my sideburns, so I don't have to do it. But some people seem to think they know which manufacturer machined this in Pennsylvania. I don't know myself because I haven't talked to Rob over at Wet Shaving Club. And I kind of like it being a mystery for me. I like to... Ignorance is bliss, you know that whole thing? I don't need to know every single thing. I mean, there are some songs from the 80s that I sing, and I know I'm getting the lyrics wrong, but I still sing it the way I think they are. I could look it up. I could look it up in an instant now. But I choose not to. The Huey Lewis song, Heart of Rock and Roll. I actually finally did break down and see what the lyrics were for that. The heart of rock and roll is still beating, and for what I've seen, I believe him, that song. And then he says, what I always thought was, I may have mentioned this before, the heart of rock and roll is still beating, and for what I've seen, I believe him. And then what I thought he said, and what I still sing to this day is, now the oboe may be barely breathing. Why is an oboe breathing? I don't know. It's not that. That's not it. Don't write the lyric down in the comments. I know what it is, but in case somebody else has kind of kept that as a little personal thing, let's not ruin it for them until they're ready. You have to be ready to learn these things. All right, let's start off with shout outs. We got 3 today. And then I'll talk about the letter and the pen that Corey sent me. He typed me a letter all the way from Scotland. Good to see you, Corey. Thanks for that. I haven't written back because I can't compete. He sent me this multi-page letter. Here it is. It's right here in this envelope. And I can't compete with that. I mean, he typed it out on his own letterhead. This guy, he's young. I think he's still in university. Is that right? Anyway, he's going places, folks. Keep your eye on Corey if you're over there in Scotland. But first, let's shout out Tristan471. Tristan, shout out to you. You've been hanging out on this channel a long time. I appreciate your viewership. Some people like to drift in and out. I do the same thing with certain podcasts or YouTubers. You know, you'll watch them constantly and then you'll be like, I'm a little tired of this. And then you'll go back later, like a year later, say, oh, I forgot about that. I still don't want to watch him anymore, but he's a sweet part of my past now. So hopefully I'm a sweet part of your past, your present, and perhaps your future. Whatever that means. I appreciate anybody that leaves a comment. And very, very rarely, I know I've said this before, very, very, very rarely have there been any really negative stuff. And the negative stuff is normally like, this guy's dumb. You talk too much. That kind of stuff. So I'm not bothered by it. It's a fair cop. If I didn't talk too much, that's what I hate about some YouTubers. Like, usually it's like I'm looking for a product, like, oh, what is this? I want to see an unboxing of this new thing. And you'll find one, and it'll be a person unboxing the thing you want to see, but they don't talk throughout the whole thing. They're just like, you just hear them opening the box. It's like silent, and it's a little creepy. Guys, if you're going to do YouTube videos like that, please talk at least a little bit. It's okay. Your voice is fine. I'm sure your voice is fine. But don't do the creepy silent unboxings. All right, shout out number 2, Chad. Chad, I don't remember. I think I've shouted you out before in the past, and I don't know how to pronounce your last name, so I'm going to give you a few choices on how to pronounce your last name. Chad Homier. Good to see you, Chad. Shout out. Number 2. Chad Homer. Good to see you, Chad. Thanks for it. Chad Homer. Shout out to you, Chad. And then how about just Chad H? You know who I'm talking about. There, I think I covered all my bases. So thanks, Chad. Thanks for watching. You've also been around a long time. And maybe your last name's pronunciation is kind of like that lyric I didn't want to know. I want to just make it my own thing. I'm just going to keep it my own little thing inside my head. It's weird. Daddy, why is that strange man saying he's keeping your name in his head? Oh, son, that's just a natural rhythm. Don't talk when you're blathering. It's okay if you get this soap in your mouth. It doesn't taste bad, doesn't burn. Doesn't taste good, doesn't taste bad. Oh. Taylor of Old Bond Street, man. So good. Final shout out, Jeffrey Mendez. I know how to pronounce your name, Jeffrey. Shout out to you. Thanks for watching. Now let's talk about Corey. So Corey sent me, like I said, this typed, on it, he's got letterhead and everything, all the way from Scotland. I really appreciate it. And then he sent me this pen, this Parker pen, because he noticed I had used my Mont Blanc pen a while back. And normally I keep that right here in the shaving drawer to write down, like when I do shoutouts. See that? So I write down the names of the shoutouts, unless there's a whole list, then I'll pull up my iPad. But he saw me using my Mont Blanc pen. He's like, oh, I like pens too. I'm going to send him this Parker. Now, it is let's see, he wrote another little note right here. It's a limited edition Parker pen, which he purchased prior to commencing the first year of his studies. It has served him well, taking notes, planning essays, and scribbling exam answers, and I now pass it on to you, for you to use in writing a letter to someone you haven't reached out to in some time. And I think that's a great idea, because there's something about receiving an actual letter, which, it almost doesn't exist anymore, right? You get emails, you get texts, you get, whatever. So Corey, yeah, you too, Jeffrey. Corey, thanks for sending that. It means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. And it's a great pen. And now I don't use the Mont Blanc. I now keep this down in my little shave drawer. Yeah, that's right. So, it's earned a place of honor, and it's a really good pen too. I like it. I don't remember where I got that Mont Blanc pen. It's the only fancy pen I have. But man, there's something about a really good pen and a fresh sheet of paper to write on, or to draw on, sketch. Man, one of life's simple pleasures. And I think it's black ink. Yeah, black ink. Very important. In my book, it's got to be black ink. Can't be blue. I always shied away from blue. Even in the olden days of the old Bic pens, you'd take the little plastic cap off and then pull the pen out. You could use it to shoot spit wads. Did you ever do that? If you didn't, you should. You can still do it. I'm sure you can still get those pens or something similar. You always lost the cap on those pens, though. That's why I like clip pens. You don't lose the cap. See? I don't want to do it too much. I'm going to take care of that thing. Well, I can tell you, now that it's been put out to pasture, it's not going to be writing essays or super long anything. It's going to be for shout-outs and information I might need to read to you guys. But it will be my go-to, because that's why I keep it. That's why I kept the Mont Blanc down there, because I would always forget, I got to write this thing down, or I have to leave the bathroom, I have to go into the other room, get a pen. It's embarrassing to see Daddy walk around in his towel out there, Just embarrassing. That's why I keep it here. Oh, I got a little nick, didn't I? Woo! Wasn't thinking, was chatting too much. All right, time to wash off. Ooh. I think the family and I are planning a trip now in June. We might go to Hot Springs, Arkansas, a little driving trip. And then up to Memphis, take the kids through Graceland. I went to Graceland in the 90s, and I need to go back because I didn't get to see the kitchen at the time, because I think Elvis's grandma was still alive and she was still living there. So they had that for her use, but now it's all wide open. Except for upstairs. Can't go upstairs. All right. Proraso from the Ben box. This one is the white aftershave balm, refreshing, rinfrescante, balsamo dopo barba. Yeah, aftershave balm. What does it smell like? It smells like a Proraso product. Now that I've smelled a bunch of them, they all kind of have similar kind of notes to them. Even though they do differ, there is kind of an underlying, you can tell it's a Proraso. This one is not my favorite scent. What does it smell like? It's got a little bit of a tingle. The rinfrescante thing. The refreshing menthol. But it's fine. It's fine. It's not my favorite, but it's good. I don't think you can go wrong with Proraso. So thanks again, Ben, for sending me that box, because I guarantee I wouldn't have just gone out and bought all this stuff on my own. Because, that's just the way I am. But I really appreciate the opportunity. And I've got items coming from another friend of the channel, a big box of stuff, including the Stroop waffles. And yes, I have had fresh Stroop waffles. There's a farmer's market not far from where I live on Sundays, where there used to be someone that made them fresh, right? Oh my God, it's so good. Even the prepackaged ones are pretty good if you warm them up. I'm kind of trying to get this little thing to stop. But anyway, that's the end of the show today, folks. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for all your comments and your kindness and your generosity. And hopefully I can bring some little bit of positivity to your life if you need it. And if you don't, well, it's all right too. All right, everybody. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you all on Monday. Bye.